Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We are continuing on exactly from where we left off. We currently have two orders in the garage, this one and this one. We also have this project that we're working on we picked up in a barn in a previous episode. But for this episode we're going to work on this car here because it's actually... Wait a minute, let's check the phone. Let's dismiss anything that isn't experience. Money bonus, not interested in that. Right, so we're going to work on this one because it's been in the garage the longest. So let's see what we have to do. Grinding and shaking coming from the gearbox. Okay, so we're going to move it into lifter A. It's probably just the gearbox that needs to be replaced. So we'll pop the hood just in case we have to take the starter off. And sure enough, it is the gearbox. So let's get the starter out. And we'll lift her up to the highest level, get in underneath it and take off the prop shaft or the drive shaft, and then we'll get the gearbox out and we'll see if we can recondition it. Actually, what we will do instead is see if we have one already. We might have one of these gearboxes in stores. We do. Excellent. There we go. So we'll put that in. I'm quickly going to recondition the starter and the prop shaft because I know that they can be done. There we are. Just because I'm a good mechanic and I take pride in my work and all that shit. Okay, that's that. Now we can drop her down. See what I mean? This is going to be a very quick order. Alright, let's get the starter back on. And drop the hood. And voila! We are done. So we spent 800 and we're getting nearly 1700 back in return. So it's not a bad return on investment. So that means that we are going to work on this now for the remainder of this episode. And we're only less than 3 minutes in to the episode already. So this is great. We're going to get a lot of work done here tonight. Okay, so rocker arms. Now, I went ahead and I purchased... Do you know what? Screw it. Let's just use it. I purchased a bunch of stuff off camera at the end of the last episode. Because I had sort of a list in my head and we ended the episode before I was able to buy it. So I said, screw it, let's buy it now while it's still fresh in my head, and that way I won't be wasting time when I started up the next episode and you guys were actually watching. So we were able to get stuck into it straight away, as it turns out. Alright. So the rocker arms is the one item that I purchased. I also purchased a ignition coil B. I purchased an ignition distributor. We don't have a head. I think we have a no. We don't have a cam gear. We have a rotor. We do have a distributor cap. All right. Okay. Cool. Carburetor. No, we don't have. I6B, I6B, I6B. Right, let's do some searches for some I6B items. So, back into the store. And we're going to search for I6B. And we need a carburetor. We need an engine head cover. We need a cam gear. What else do we need? We need a water pump pulley. Water pump pulley, there we go. Alright, now we can get a little bit more done with this job. Probably don't have a base, but we do have a cam gear now. So let's go down here. Actually, we'll get that water pump pulley on next. Cam gear. We probably need a timing chain. I can't remember if I picked up one of those or not. I did. Excellent. Timing cover. We have that. Crankshaft pulley. V8. I need to keep that in mind. There isn't much else there. Do we have a fuel filter? We do. Alright, so air filter base I6B and crankshaft pulley V8. Right, so actually let's just search for V8 and we'll go down to the crankshaft pulleys, which should be somewhere around here. There it is. Now we want I6B, air filter base, air filter cover. I'm not going to buy a filter just in case we have one. We might have a filter already, so we won't just do that just yet. We'll see if we have the filter. We don't. Okay, that's not the end of the world. Right, let's get these arms. Oh, I don't have that arm. Right, so I do need to pick up one of those. Do I have this arm? I don't. Okay, so I need those 2 arms. Alright, back into the store we go. So we need a filter, and we need this arm and that arm. Okay, now we get down here. And we'll get these arms on for the power steering pump, for the alternator. We need a power steering pump. I need to remember that. Alternator, I have one. I actually have 2. Belts. I need belts. Alright. So it was a power steering pump and belts, wasn't it? So I think a belt A and a belt B and a power steering pump. That should do us quite nicely. Excuse me. Fan. I don't have a fan. Excuse me, I have something caught in my throat. And it's tickling. Clips. Clips. I just noticed the clips there. Let's get the clips on. Spark plugs. Do we have spark plugs? We have some. Probably not enough. Oh, we're 1 short. Damn it. Okay, what was this? A fan B. Radiator fan B. By any chance? No, it's not there. So fan B. Radiator fan B. There we go. And plug for spark plugs. And we'll buy like a baker's dozen. And that way we have 12 spare. Okay, let's get this remaining spark plug in. Now the ignition wires. Okay. That's looking pretty damn good now, I have to say. So now we can start working on the bottom end and getting the pistons fixed in and the big end bearings and all that stuff. Right. Crankshaft bearing cap, we have plenty of those. We should have enough. Not bearing caps, rod caps, yeah, that's what it is. Just enough rod caps. Perfect. I love it when it works out like that. Right now, the oil pan, otherwise known as the sump. So next then is flywheel, clutch. Let's buy this exhaust stuff. So it's just that exhaust, middle muffler, then rear muffler V8 OHV. Right. Flywheel. Clutch. Clutch plate, pressure plate, release bearing. What was it? I6B, wasn't it, for the exhaust stuff? Here we are, front exhaust section. Then it's middle muffler, and rear muff V8 OHV, which should be around here somewhere. There it is there. Okay. I don't know what gearbox is going into it yet, so I haven't made that purchase. Looks like we already had a flywheel. That's fine. No harm having spares. Next is the release bearing. Gearbox, I6B. We'll put in the swanky one. Alright, now we won't put in the drive shaft just yet, because we have to take apart the back or the rear suspension, which means the axle is coming out. I do have a filter, because I picked that up already. Okay, looking good. Let's put in the middle muffler. Oh, look at that, I already had some. Okay, right, so now, how are we doing on time? We have loads of time. We are going to start working on the front suspension. So that means the wheels are coming off. Actually, you know what? I think I'll take all the wheels off. I think that's how I want to do this. We'll get the wheels taken off, and we'll get them reconditioned if we can, the rims, and buy new tires, and have those ready to rock, because that's going to be a little bit time intensive. Right, so we're taking apart. Now I need to take a note of this. So they are Rim Basic 01. Rim Basic 01. And they are 225/75 R 15s. And they are vintage tire wall A. Vintage tire wall A. Right, let's get those stripped. I can buy the tires, so I'm going to do that now. So that means going into the tire section, and that one should be finished here, so we'll quickly get the next one working. Vintage tire wall A, and we want 4 of them. Size 15s, weren't they? 15, yeah. 15 width was 225, wasn't it? Yep, it was 225, and profile was 75. Alright, there's that done. Now let's go back into the store. We're going to go to rims this time and just have that ready. Rim Basic 01. Rim Classic, Rim... we're around here somewhere. There it is there. So just in case we do have to buy any new rims, we are ready to do that. Alright, that's them stripped. So now we're going to see if we can recondition. We can only recondition 3 of them, so we do need 1 rim. Okay, so I'll buy that. No, do you know what? I won't. I'll start putting together what we have. That would be the smartest way of doing this. If I could pick the right stuff, would be better. Rim basic 01. We want 1. It's size 15 and ET is 0, I believe. Alright, let's balance that one. Start installing the next one. And now we'll start installing the next rim and tire to make a wheel. Alright, let's get the next one in there. Sweet. Alright, let's get the final one put together. And we'll just make sure, yeah, we don't have any more to do. That was the last one. Okay. Now, back over and we'll start stripping down the suspension. We should have quite a bit of stuff that we can recondition from this as well. Alright, let's get that end link out. Get the shock next. Oops. Forgot about the bottom suspension arm. Right, over to the far side. Start stripping here. Ah! That's not what I wanted. Alright, now the shock and the bottom suspension arm, then the knuckle and the sway bar. Now we'll get the bushings out of the cross member. We may as well take out the steering rack here as well. Now we can take out the cross member. And that means we are going to go and recondition stuff. So not a huge amount, but a nice bit of stuff we were able to do there, which is good. You know what, I'm thinking let's do the back suspension now as well while we're at it. Strip her down completely. Mustn't forget the shocks. And while we're here, we may as well get the fuel tank. Brake shoes, brake cylinder, solid rear drive axle, then the wheel hub, then the knuckle, rubber bushings. Get that one first. We'll go for U-bolt now. Then the other U-bolt. And the spring leaf plate. The other rubber bushing. And the spring. And now we can get the shock out. And now we can take out the axle. Alright, so now we're back to the repair bench and we can see what else we can recondition. Okay, so a nice bit of stuff again, not huge, not terribly bad. So let's start putting the back together. Solid rear drive axle, I definitely have those. Springs, I only have one spring. Let's get this rubber bushing in next. Now we'll get the U-bolts in. I doubt I have a shock. Yeah, I don't. Shock absorber B, I need to remember that. Actually, let's do the drive shaft while we're here. Alright, now we'll start over here on the other side. Ooh, I need a wheel hub. Wheel hub 4, need to remember that. Spring, I need a spring as well. And shock absorber B. Parts. Shock. Rear shock absorber B. By 2. Hub. Wheel hub 4, we need one of those. And spring. We need a leaf spring. That should get us a good bit of the way there now. Alright, spring is next. Rubber bushing. I should have picked up more rubber bushings. We're going to need them. Alright, that is awesome. I may as well put the wheels on it, I suppose now, because that's the back done. Well, except for the fuel tank, which isn't a big deal. I need to check and see how we're doing on time. How are we? We're right on the mark where we should be finishing up, which is perfect. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll quickly grab a fuel tank. And I think I have a fuel pump. Do indeed have a fuel pump. And, ooh, shock. Forgot about this shock. Alright, that is the back completely done. That is excellent. So now it's just the front suspension, which is great. That's fantastic. Okay. We are going to leave it there for now. So thanks a million for watching, folks. Before we finish up, let's see if there are any experience orders. There is. Aha! There's one. Alright, so we'll take that. We'll work on that in a future episode. Anyway, thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. It means an awful lot to me, and it makes a huge difference to the channel because it gets picked up by the YouTube algorithms and populates the content in other people's searches, which helps the channel grow, get new subscribers, and like I said, means an awful lot to me, and I really do appreciate it so much. Anyway, my name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, take care.